Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another informative video where basically I'm going to be telling you guys two of the major caveats to getting Google Fi service. This is to obviously inform you guys of what to expect if you guys may possibly be considering Google Fi and some of the things that could be a major downfall in your decision in choosing Google Fi. So let's kind of jump into it. Number one is that Google Fi, while a hybrid phone service, you could say, technically does not have an unlimited data plan. So for past videos that I mentioned where I talked about how it works, you're paying $20 for unlimited talk and text. That's what's called Fi Basics separated. When it comes to the data side of things, you are charged $10 per gigabyte of data. Now on a single line, you're charged $10 per gigabyte up to 6 gigabytes. When you reach the 6 gigabyte threshold, they stop charging you. So initially, you're paying $60 for data, $20 for talk and text. Now here's where it goes where it's not an unlimited plan. So when you pass the 6 gigabyte threshold, you're paying $60 for LTE. Now once you surpass 15 gigabytes, 15 gigabytes of data, you are throttled down, not deprioritized. If you don't know what that means, basically deprioritized is when the network is congested, and if you used a lot of data already, you will be slowed down for a brief moment until the congestion is alleviated. Throttled is where you are slowed down until the start of your next bill cycle. So if you use 15 gigabytes, you will be reduced down to 256 kilobits per second speeds, which is it's okay if you're going to be web browsing and stuff like that. But media consumption, it's going to be a terrible experience. And so that's why I say that Google Fi is not an unlimited service plan, as there are others out there who are an unlimited service plan like Cricket, Metro by T-Mobile, and Boost Mobile, and their threshold is a lot higher, so like anywhere from 23 gigabytes to 30 gigabytes. But even then, they don't throttle anymore. They deprioritize. So you will be slowed down for a brief moment on those carriers, but your speeds will go back to normal once the congestion is alleviated. And so that's one major thing that I think that people really need to consider before actually jumping ship to Google Fi. Just because it has the name Google in it, you might want to consider that. Google Fi is more intended for those people who are trying to save money and don't use a lot of data per se, or always have access to Wi-Fi, which is one of the things that is really pushed with Google Fi, is that you have an unlimited connection to open Wi-Fi hotspots all across your city that are partnered with Google. And that's the whole point behind it, is reliance on Wi-Fi. Number two is Hangouts. Now some people want to use Hangouts as an all-in-one. They want it for phone calls, messaging, and video calling. And Hangouts can deliver that to you. The problem is that if you use the native dialer and Android messages, it's regular phone calls, regular SMS, right? With RCS, because now Google Fi does support RCS. But if you use Hangouts as an all-in-one messenger for you, so you have one app to control everything, that does count against the data that you are using. So $10 per gigabyte, phone calls and text messages you make will add to that. So it's kind of sad that it does that. And people will be like, well, it does use data, so why are you complaining? But truth be it is that if you have a company like Boost Mobile who has a select, music applications that will not count against your data. So, if you're on like say the $35 plan, which is 3 gigabytes, and you use that music app, it's not counted against your 3 gigabytes of data. So if Boost Mobile can do something like that, I'm sure Google Fi can do something where the data used from the Hangouts app would not count against your actual data usage. However, that's not applied there. So if you decide to use Hangouts as an all-in-one messenger, so you have your phone calls, your text messages, your chat messages, your video calling, all through one application, it will use data, which me personally, in my opinion, I feel like it shouldn't. But those are two of the major caveats to going with Google Fi, and I think people need to be made aware of before making the decision to jump ship, even though that being on their data plan, kind of like a hybrid of having an unlimited plan, the only setback is the threshold before throttling. 15 gigabytes is pretty low, especially when you have 2 lines on the account. You are guaranteed to cross 15 gigabytes before the end of the month. So to me, that's like That's something I think that they should move up some. If you're going to throttle and not deprioritize, then set the bar like at maybe 25 gigabytes, right? That seems like it, because everything today relies on data connection, data consumption. So to have it at 15 gigabytes is just kind of crazy. So for me, I would tell Google Fi add an additional 10 before you throttle, and that will make things just a little bit better. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on both of those issues with Google Fi. Leave your thoughts in the comment section of the video. Let me know. If you have any other questions regarding Google Fi, I'd be more than happy to answer it. And if you have any inquiries, my email address is in the description going on forward, so you guys can personally email me. But until then, guys, thanks so much for checking out my video, and as always, Aloha.